Hey guys, welcome to Planting Alabama. Today guys, I'm not really doing a video on how to or any planting videos. This video I want to talk to you about being prepared, making sure that your garden soil is ready for planting for this coming planting season. Now, as we all know, it can get kind of tough when you're waiting on that planting season to come in, and for some of us that's a little bit longer than others, just depending on what region of the country you might be in, or what country you're in altogether. But anyway, there's a lot of things that we as gardeners and homesteaders, or whatever you like to call yourself, refer to yourself as, there's a lot of things that we need to do in preparation for the upcoming planting season. Now, for me, one of the biggest things that I have to do, or that I like to make sure is done, is getting my soil prepared, making sure that my soil is healthy. I don't know if you've seen the video that I've done about how I compost directly into my garden during the winter months, so that it's already there, it's ready to go. I add a tad bit of fertilizer and I'm ready to plant my first crop of plants and vegetables. And then I begin on my compost bins, and I continue throughout the summer making compost that I use along the way, and like to kind of keep it flowing that way. Also guys, I don't know if you think about it, but a lot of times we need to we get so caught up with buying the seeds and planning out what we're going to plant and where we're going to plant it, that we don't actually take time to make sure that all of our yard equipment is clean and sterilized, sanitized. Makes a big difference in whether or not you're going to have a productive year or not. You don't want to have carryover funguses and different plant diseases that could be easily prevented by just cleaning up your yard equipment that you use, in your gardening. This makes a big difference, and so I'd like to encourage you all to get that done as well. Another thing that I try and do is make sure that my fruit trees are going to be productive and produce for me the way that they should. A lot of times we think that if we just throw a little fertilizer on them, they'll be okay. But in actuality, guys, depending on where you live, now I live here in Alabama, and the region I live in, I usually start fertilizing and preparing my fruit trees around the last week of February or the first week in March. I'll clean from under the tree, I'll spray it down, make sure that I get that whatever bugs or insects that try to overwinter in crevices of your trees. You want to make sure you spray that so that they have no place to reproduce when the weather warms up. I clean from under my trees before I fertilize, and then I'll add a good bit of mulch to each fruit tree. I do the same thing with all of my berry bushes and different shrubberies like that. Another thing that I try and get done during the cooler months is make sure that my grow room has been sanitized before I plant or start the first seed. It's so very important to make sure that all of your containers, if you're using containers from last year, sterilize them. You can use bleach. That's a good sterilizer. You can use alcohol. That's a good sterilizer. And just plain warm soapy water will do the trick also, guys. But whatever you do, make sure you get all of these things cleaned up before you use them. If you're using soil from outside, or you have some soil stored up that you're going to use in your grow room, if you're not sure about it, sterilize that soil. All you have to do is take you about a gallon of water, a couple of gallons of water, boil it, and pour it on that soil, and let it sit outside and drip dry or drain through, and that soil will be sterilized. If you can't do that, then you can always bag your soil up into small bags, put it in the freezer, and freeze it for about a week or two, and that'll kill a lot of different funguses and pathogens in your soil before you use it. There's a lot of things that we can do as gardeners that will help us to have a productive growing season. And so I encourage all of you to take time to look through and make sure that all these things have been thought of. And another thing, guys, if you have rain catchment system, you want to make sure that is cleaned out, make sure that there's no mold buildup, etc. These things are all important, guys. There was one more point I wanted to make. It slips my mind at the moment, but there's a lot that I try and get done in a short amount of time during the cooler seasons of the year. But with the weather that we've been having, guys, it seems that we're going to have to all learn to regrow different fruits and vegetables in our climates. And the weather is so out of whack that what used to grow well in your area may no longer grow well in your area. I find that to be the case here. I see, right now we're in first week in February, and my grass, the yard grass, is starting to grow back. Give it another week or so, I'll be out with my weed eater. Guys, it's February. Come on. I live in the South, true, but I've never seen this before. So, there's a lot of things that we need to consider, reevaluate, and, that's just the way things are going right now, guys. And lastly, I want to encourage you to, when you sit down and you're looking through your seed catalogs, or you're online looking through various seeds, try new seeds that you haven't tried before. But let your decisions be centered around being prepared. For example, I'm growing a couple of new plants that will help me by way of providing all the sugar I will need. I don't use regular sugar as it is. I use honey, but I'm getting another alternative source. So what I'm saying is, let your decisions be twofold. One, because you want the food, and two, let it help you out in a medicinal way, and let it be long term. Start saving your seeds, guys. Each year you need to devote one spot in your garden whereby you plant plants that are only going to be used for seeds. If you are a raised bed gardener, let one bed be devoted strictly to plants that are going to provide nothing but seeds. We have to maintain a good quality seed variety if we're going to be self-sufficient, if we're going to be sustainable. Get with guys, get with people within your region and swap seeds and help each other out. You know, if you got seeds that someone else wants, see if you can't swap some out for or a different variety that they may have that you want to try out. Just we have to interact with each other more and build up the like-mindedness, the preparedness. And gardening is very essential in being prepared and self-sufficient. Not only does it provide for you and your family, but it may help someone else out. So always think about that, guys. And I'm gonna cut this video short here. I just wanted to make sure that we all are thinking about getting our growing season off to a good start. And I think that's about it, guys. So if I left out anything that you can think of, leave it in the comment section. I hope that you all will take something away from this. I hope that you've learned something from this video. Leave your comments down below. Hopefully I can learn something as well. So until next time, God bless.